The energy right now is a little difficult, to say the least. It feels quite heavy, it feels quite challenging. You may feel annoyed or triggered in some way, and I just want to leave you this message today that if you are scared, if you feel lost or burned out, or if you are starting again or haven't started yet, let's take a deep breath together because it's all going to be okay. So let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, deep inhale through the nose, make a big belly, breathe into your belly. Full body breath and exhale through the mouth. One more time, deep inhale. And sigh it out. All right, you can do this again whenever you need to. I just feel like this message is really needed to share today because everybody I talk to today is going through a bit of a challenging time, no matter if it's brain fog or if it's just a lot of small things going wrong for you today, or, this message is going to find you whenever you need it. So it doesn't matter what day of the week I put this on. When you need to hear it, you will find it. I trust in that. So yeah, it feels at the moment like we are feeling a lot of, like emotions come up. And especially things that we have dealt with before and that are now coming up again, maybe in a softer way or maybe in a stronger way. But often right now with this energy, it is really like, it can feel like the air is thick, and you may feel like, oh, this is coming up again, or you may find yourself being really triggered or confused. You may even feel like you cannot make sense of your mind. And, like do this tiny breathing exercise whenever you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, because this is going to happen a lot this week and the next week and the next days. And, sometimes when we're in the thick of it, instead of trying so hard to try to control with your mind and try to swim out of it and try to control, just let it happen. Just trust that you are equipped to manage this, whatever it is. And even if you're like feeling like rock bottom right now, just know that you've done hard things before and that you will handle this one as well. Now, I know sometimes there are so big emotions involved and that it feels like, how should I handle this? And then allow yourself to feel this helplessness. Because sometimes we do feel helpless, but then we got to remember, I'm an adult. I'm not a child anymore. I have options. I have choices. I can ask for help. I can communicate my needs. Yeah, I can communicate my boundaries. I can, find a solution, maybe one that's different than from what you usually do. And it takes courage to step out of the familiar pattern. It takes courage to observe your emotions and say, whoa, I see what's going on here. I'm going to let myself feel this. And then I respond and don't react. What I also feel right now a lot is that unconscious meets conscious. So what I've also heard from a lot of clients lately is that they've done a lot of work on themselves. We all done a lot of work on ourselves, possibly. And that you now feel like you're confronted with situations and people where you feel like their heart may not be open, or they don't hear you, they don't acknowledge you, they don't meet you halfway, they don't understand where you're coming from. And you may feel, wow, I have really positive intentions and it just feels like I'm not getting through to that person, or, the person thinks I have an ill intent. Well, disclaimer here, if you have an ill intent, you got to look into this and confront your demons, my love. But if you come with good intentions and you also take the time to see the perspective of the other person, it is really important for you to allow yourself to respect and honor your needs and trust yourself. And that doesn't mean, behaving disrespectful to other people. That's not what I'm saying. I think we should always be kind and respectful. Kill people with kindness in a way that whenever somebody has like a really ill-intended message for me or a really triggered message for me and speaks to me in that way, no matter if it's on the street or whatever, I take a step back and I know I don't need to get onto their level. I don't need to adapt to their frequency. I can be in my central channel. I can be in my frequency, and I don't need to adjust to that other person's behavior and go on that level. No. And I also want to say we are all on different journeys. Nobody's better or worse. Nobody is higher on a hierarchy. There's no hierarchy, okay? If you feel like, because I'm going to give you an example from a client recently, they said, wow, I was really confronted with somebody who felt so unconscious to me, and I was thinking about if I should, engage in that discussion and sort of ping pong back and forth, or if I should just let them be because they will not hear me and I will disengage. And they decided to disengage, and I think that's really graceful. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to feel your feelings. You can disengage and say, I'm not engaging in that drama. I'm not, playing ping pong here. It's not about winning. It's not about competition. It's not about losing. It's not about making my point to somebody who will not acknowledge, respect, or understand me. But you can still feel those feelings. You can still either speak to your therapist or coach or healer or friend or partner, or you can sit yourself down, put on some music, and take a moment to feel whatever's coming up, frustration, anger, whatever it is for you. I'm going to give you the example of my clients. So they felt really frustrated about that situation with the people that they were engaging with, because they felt like, I'm giving my best here. I don't feel seen in my, acting from the heart. I feel like they project onto me like ill intent and all these kind of things. And that frustrates me. So that's what my client said. And I was like, all right, so let's feel into this. Close your eyes down, connect to that frustration. Where do you feel it? In my heart. Okay, connect to that frustration in your heart. And then they felt through this, and under the frustration, because usually anger, frustration, those emotions are usually cover emotions. Sorry. Ooh. They usually cover emotions for sadness, fear, and those deeper laying emotions that we often suppress. Excuse me. Whew. Clearing of the throat chakra. You see it? If you don't know what the throat chakra is, we have energy centers all along our body in so many different places, but there are these major ones. And the throat chakra is usually opening when you're speaking your truth, when you are standing up for yourself or for somebody else, when you're speaking from the heart. And I guess something is opening right now. So, because this is a message I already wanted to send last week, so we're getting it out now. I guess now is the time. Okay, so let's refocus. So my client felt, the pain, sort of the frustration in the heart. So I asked them to breathe into the heart, imagine to just allow this frustration to come more up. And that's what they did. And under the frustration was sadness. And then I said, all right, so let it flow over you like a river or like a wave. And so then the sadness came through, and they felt through the sadness, and there were also tears. And I asked them, okay, so what do you feel? What is the sadness about? And they said, wow, I'm just feeling the sadness of the world, of, how disconnected people are from each other, from their hearts, how we are so programmed into scarcity and separation that often we cannot see the heart intent and the positive intent that somebody has, and that somebody is already giving their best and giving them grace for trying hard and giving their best. And I have to say, I've heard this from a lot of friends and clients recently, similar stories. Also, that a good friend of mine, she also said, look, I'm always inviting this person, and I always invite them so that they feel welcome in the circle and meet new people, but they never reciprocate. It never feels like they are grateful. And she said, like, it's not about getting validation or something, but it is just, I just want her to meet me as deeply as I am willing to open up to her. And that person that she was talking about with me, she was just not ready to meet her this openly, because sometimes when we grow up in a way that we don't learn what love is, but we have another notion, another programming of what love feels like. If we don't learn like heart openness, generosity, love that doesn't ask for something in return, then we may get cold, or we may feel like the generosity somebody offers us is not genuine because it feels so unfamiliar. And I had to do that too, to learn actually, oh, this is love, because subconsciously I was pushing it away. And that is what happens often. Now, you may also, one more sentence I want to say to that story is, you may now also say, yeah, but your friend asked for something in return. It's not about material things in return. It's about, her heart openness meeting the other person's heart openness. And what I said to her is like, just, like sometimes people cannot meet us as deeply as we wish, and create a relationship as deeply as we wish. And then it's like our job to learn to accept that with some people, we have a certain relationship, and with other people, we may be able to go deeper. And it's also about accepting the other person's journey, that they may not realize that they aren't willing to, that they may have a closed heart, or that they may be scarred with experiences from the past that have been painful. So this way we can create compassion for someone that we meet that feels like they're being cold, or they're being irrational, or they're being so triggered by this situation between them and you, and they may react in ways that feel like an ill intent to you. And I feel like this trigger happens a lot right now, and that's what I mean with conscious meets unconscious. One person is like heart open and generous and, has the best intentions, and the other person may not be conscious of those positive, heartfelt intentions. Now, it's important that this is honest, right? Like that it really is coming from a positive place, from the heart, and being conscious about how you're acting, not just yourself, but looking also at the other perspective. And when we do that, we can create a level of grace where we see, okay, that person or that situation, what's going on here, is a challenge right now. It's a challenge for you. Maybe you are in the conscious place where you see, all right, they are triggered by me, which triggers me now. Or it may be that you see like, wow, how they respond to me or react to me feels really like ill intent, or feels really mean or annoying and disrespectful and all those things. And you are absolutely right to draw your boundaries and communicate, look, this is not okay for me, or this doesn't work, or whatever is your needs, whatever your communication needs to be. And maybe you can also hold on at the same time a tiny bit of space for that person to realize, okay, they are not able right now to meet me where I would love them to meet me. And it's okay to then take a step back and say, I'm not going to engage. This is my boundary. Yeah. This is my self-respect also. On the other hand, like the person that doesn't come across like, or that comes across as a little more unconscious, it doesn't mean they are not on your, like, it doesn't mean that they are less than you. It doesn't mean that they, like they're also on their journey. And we cannot compare each other's journeys with each other. It doesn't, in the spiritual community, they talk a lot about frequencies and higher frequency and lower frequency. It's not really the right way to talk about this. We all have a home frequency or like a unique frequency that's ours. It's like a radio channel, yeah, or like a TV channel. Mine is Vanessa. I don't know the number or whatever it is. And yours may be Patrick and Lisa and Zoe and Anna and Matt and Chris or whatever your name is, yeah? Everybody has a home frequency. And we all feel the spectrum of emotions, from sadness to joy and euphoria, yeah? From rock bottom to absolute euphoria. That is part of the human experience, and that's going to happen again and again and again and again. There's this image of the scale of emotions, and this scale is valid, but we cannot try to be constantly in the highest state, in like enlightenment, let's say. We can dip into that. Yeah, it's possible for all of us. I absolutely believe that. I know that. And we can also dip into sadness, frustration, anger. It's just part of the human experience, because we all have certain triggers and wounds that we carry with us that we can heal, but it takes time until sometimes you can fully heal a wound, and sometimes you may still have over time softer and softer triggers around it when you work with them and realize, okay, and feel what's there and reduce the emotional charge around it. Okay, so it's not about reaching like a freaking high frequency and staying there. It's actually about aligning to your home frequency, to your central channel, how I like to call it. I did a video about this. Check out my video list. There's something about that. Where is our, so to say, home frequency, our unique resting position. And when we align to that, then this is where we need to be. Yeah, and it's that frequency level is more about, are we only feeling sad all the time? Are we only in anger all the time? Are we only in that level of vibration and that lower vibration all the time? Then it's important to do the inner work to release those emotional charges, those wounds, those traumas that keep us in the constant state of these lower vibrations. But once we release the charges, integrate the wounding and the parts of us that we, have been at war with or have repressed or suppressed and ignored, when we integrate that, we also drop the masks and the layers that are not ours, and we, sort of come into the alignment with our frequency. And that is not a vertical or a horizontal thing. That is just, I don't know, I always see a circle. And I'm not saying that is a circle in itself, but, I just don't want you to get lost in this higher, better, blah, blah frequency thing, because it's an illusion as well. So you have your home frequency, take decisions that feel aligned to you, make sure you remember what are your values and align to those. Now, when we are because we're talking right now about being at the moment in a place of fears and frustrations come up, maybe feeling lost, maybe feeling a little like, oh, I'm starting over again, or you haven't started yet. When you feel that, do the things that make you feel yourself. If it's breathing, if it's taking a walk, if it is taking a warm shower or a cold one, if it's having a tea, whatever helps you connect to yourself, singing, dancing, laughing, working out, whatever it is. Just make sure you're not being obsessive about it. And make sure you're being honest to yourself. Maybe you need a day reading in bed. Maybe you need a day working from bed. Maybe you need the exact opposite and you gotta get out into the sun. Put a t-shirt on, let your skin get some sun, or get into the ocean or whatever. In those moments where we are challenged in terms of being confronted with people and circumstances and experiences in the outside world, this is when we're being tested of, how much we can be in our being, how much we can connect to who we are and not react. Yeah. Instead of reacting, taking a breath and looking at the situation, being like, all right, so this is what's happening here. My need is this. The other person's need is this. Maybe there's something clashing here. Can we find a compromise that works for everybody? Can we find a solution that feels aligned and not just like a reaction or, sort of like a, what is a good word for that? Let me think. Can you give me a word, universe? Like a defense mechanism. You don't want to defend yourself in like this old pattern that you used to defend yourself. So it's a really good time right now to get really intentional and observe what's going on. When you get in this moment of overwhelm, what is the usual coping mechanism you would revert to? And what can you do now? And maybe be even proactive that when you're starting to feel overwhelmed or lost in some way, instead of, diving deeper into that, can you breathe? Can you feel what's going on? Can you notice what would help you right now to feel more safe and balanced, connected to yourself? Okay, that's the video for today. I hope that helped you in some way. Leave a comment below. Tell me whatever you want to say. If you don't know what to say, I've got this. Because you do. You've got this. No matter where you're at right now. I just got off a call with a friend and they are in a very difficult place right now, juggling so many hard things. And I know that they've got this. And sometimes maybe you need to be the person who tells your friend, your colleague, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your partner, your boss, whatever, that they've got this. Sometimes that's all somebody needs to hear. You've got this. Okay, and I need you to believe in yourself. If you have any questions, share it below. If you need more specialized support, you can book sessions with me down below. If you want to join a group session, the next online one is going to be on the 8th or the 7th of August online. It's going to be really good to release some held emotions and, recalibrate your nervous system. So it's super affordable, 15 euros, nothing to go wrong with. You even get a replay if you cannot make it live. And if you make it live, you can redo the replay. So it's a really great deal. And just take advantage of support systems, okay? Communicate your needs. Be graceful, be kind, be respectful to yourself and to others. That's my message for today. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. Speak to you in another video. Ciao.